I'm your bitch, but you like me. I'm your bitch.
Lord, shut the fuck up.
You wanna go along with this fucking bullshit? Go right ahead. You wanna go along with this fucking bullshit?
What's the problem?
You're the one that fucking made a sex doll of you. Just fucked it last night. You're the one that fucking made a sex doll of you.
Lord, shut the fuck up. You'll keep taking it, and you'll like it. You'll keep taking it, and you'll fucking like it.
You're just cute when you get mad.
Talk. I apologize.
Don't be so demanding all the time.
Say I apologize for being a little bitch.
I'm sorry for being a fucking bitch.
Good to you.
I'm your bitch, but you like me. I'm your bitch. Don't give a fuck.
Come on, boys. You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch. You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch.
So if I the fucking sex doll and named it after you, if I the fucking sex doll and named it after you,
You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch. You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch.
you'll fucking sit on full list, I don't give a fuck. You'll fucking sit on full list, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. But at least I smile. I smile when you say I'm your bitch. Bitch, 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 bitch.
You little bitch.
Really?
Bitch.
You wanna go along with this fucking bullshit? Go right ahead. You wanna go along with this fucking bullshit?
What's the problem?
You're the one that fucking made a sex doll of you. Just fucked it last night. You're the one that fucking made a sex doll of you.
Lauren, shut the fuck up. You'll keep taking it, and you'll like it. You'll keep taking it, and you'll fucking like it.
You're just cute when you get mad.
Talk. I apologize.
Don't be so demanding all the time.
Say I apologize for being a little bitch.
I'm sorry for being a fucking bitch. Good to you. I'm your bitch, but you like me. I'm your bitch. Don't give a fuck.
Come on, boys. You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch. You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch.
So if I the fucking sex doll and named it after you, if I the fucking sex doll and named it after you,
You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch. You're my bitch. Okay, you're my bitch.
you'll fucking sit on full list, I don't give a fuck. You'll fucking sit on full list, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. But at least I smile. I smile when you say I'm your bitch. Bitch, 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 bitch.
You little bitch.
Really?
Bitch.
Bitch, 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 bitch.
Yeah. Isn't that fucking cunning?
All right. Thanks everybody for coming out to the stream tonight. Again, thanks to Weird Versions for another banger of a song. The guy can never seem to miss. And so with me tonight is, some may call him my husband, some may call him my daddy, but, I just call him the most pronounced lip of 2022. It is Wes Moast.
Most pronounced lip of 2022?
Lisp.
To the lip.
You said
To
lip.
the lip. You said lip. I'm telling you, you're gonna listen to that back afterwards, and you said the
Who-
most pronounced
I'm-
lip of 2022.
I'm not Jordan. I don't
That's
listen
a-
back to my streams.
That, sir, that's a racism.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what a way to start
I
the
guess,
stream.
my Freudian slip there.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on. How you doing today?
Good. Little some sinus stuff going on. And then I'm good. Some allergies.
Allergies. Yeah. So
That's-
what was that?
Nothing.
Why don't I say hello to everybody before too many people show up, because you bring the crowd out, Wes. So let's knock that out now. So we have Spencer Silvera. Hi, sir. Rebecca. Dr. Cassandra. Dr. Cunt. DJ Payne 1. Hey, Boo. Donkey Balls. Rachel D. Sad Face 09, Logan W, Pussy Destroyer, Cozanton, Vipa GTS, Turd Ferguson, Disney Girl 13, Michael Amend, Allison Marie Armstrong for Once Made It on Time, Upgrade, Honest, Pam Simpson, Kitty Velociraptor, CC, Jinx, TKTK 101, Moten G's Amoni's Dad, Robert Oslin, Lawrence Byrne from Nuggets Loud Ash Fan, which I named earlier in Nuggets stream, so thanks for coming out. Tickle Me Butthole, Black Dog, George Glass, Bee's Knees, Rage-Filled Virgin, 180 Degrees, Asbury Brad, Grunt 126, Red Sea Dale, Doopy's Fashion Consultant, Ricky Spanish, Slothcat, Nothing Better Than That, James Cook, Jiffy.
Hey, did you want to say anything about Slothcat's lips before you go on?
Yeah,
Or his lips?
he came in second. Like, I can't believe I messed up my opening dumbass joke. Anyway, anybody else? Yeah, lip service. Jesus. Yes, I do, CC. Yep. Nicholas Hyatt, Evil Little McNuggets, Callie Slime Lopsided Tit Bitch, and anybody else. And Sting. Yes, I cannot wait for the Exposed video tomorrow. The Exposed stream, 3-hour stream by Wes tomorrow, about me. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, so we're going to be doing the call. It is the Lorne Vortex of explaining shit 5,000 times. This is just pulled straight out of the dump. I don't know if anybody else had it up on YouTube. If not, I can just upload it if people want to listen to it. You found me out, Tickle. I do have a Wes voice changer. Alexa, snooze. 15 minutes.
Alexa, cancel.
That's a cancel. Hey, Mom's third up.
Don't do that to people. You
Yeah.
really did turn my Alexa on.
You know, somebody commented, because anytime I see you in chat, I'll always do the Alexa thing, and somebody said that it actually tried to order like 98 like chips or something. I said,
yeah, you ordered you said 98 Pringles or some shit, and try to add it to to add it to the shopping cart.
Anyway, so if I was more prepared, I would have the call pulled up here. Hang on one second. So do you have anything you want to discuss before we start this call here?
Well, I was going to open up with a thing about my lips, but you kind of beat me to it. So no, I've got nothing.
So this is one of the classic Debbie calls where it's a Lorne on, well, at least from skipping around, it's Lorne and Debbie one-on-one. It's, as the title suggests, Lorne vortexes for a while, and Debbie has to try to pull him out of those vortexes. So it's kind of interesting because Jiffy earlier did one where Lorne is saying that he's been misdiagnosed for 5 years and all that stuff. So we'll see that his mind hasn't never really changed since then. And yes, Eo, our dress rehearsal went nothing like this yesterday. All right, let's get this up here. Let's get this going. Come on, son of a bitch.
Hello.
Hello.
Dead air
How's your
pickles.
day
You want
going?
to
Very busy,
Can you hear
but
it?
it's
Say something.
great.
I hear nothing.
Thanks for
Good.
asking.
So the call's
Yeah.
playing right now. You can't hear it.
I can't hear anything.
What the hell? Oh, it stopped sharing my thing. Did you hear the opening call? Or I mean the opening song?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Alright, hang on. Let me reshare. I bet it's not gonna work. And we'll just have to start a new call real quickly. But can you
How
hear
was
it
your
now?
day?
My day was
No.
No. Okay. Could you real quick leave the Discord call, and then I'll just call you back, and then once it reconnects, it'll share correctly.
Say it in your southern voice.
I am minuscule, y'all. Can you please leave your Discord call, y'all? All right. Let me disconnect out of here. All right. Let's try this again here. All right. Are you there, Wes?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this going here. More Vortex share. Must have accidentally hit stop sharing. I've noticed with Discord, you get like one share a call and then it stops. Let me wind this back up. All right. Can you hear it now?
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, let's start.
You hear me?
Yep, I can hear you fine. Everything's getting picked up
Discord,
now. Okay.
Discord said it can't pick up my mic, so I don't know what that means.
Sometimes if you're not loud enough, but you sound perfectly fine to me. Sometimes if you mute your mic, like on your mic, it'll say that. Like if you cough.
Someone said I had, because of Nuggies and the misinformation, slander, the picture of me with Duke for brains. I think someone might be calling me Duke for brains. Can you address that? Can you address the bully comment about Duke for brains?
Well, this is a non-bully stream, so I have already instructed all of my moderators, all my wrenches out there, that if there are any bully comments against my guest, they are to find out their IP address and dox them. So that's for you, Wes.
What's going on, Balloon Sage? Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
How'd your day go?
Very busy, but it was great. Thanks for asking.
Good.
Yeah. How was your day?
My day was very, confusing.
Confusing? Why?
Yeah. They
Okay.
had six loads on my, for me to do on my computer on my truck,
Uh-huh.
and I wound up only doing 3.
Oh, okay.
The other 3 loads weren't even supposed to be on there. So I called my dispatch like 5 times to figure out what loads I'm supposed to do.
That's
So
crazy.
That is crazy.
Well, what I really like about these like Debbie calls when they open is like Lauren is so excited to talk to Debbie, and he'll like kind of start his put my boots on spiel, and then she'll typically will just cut him off and be like, so why do you like kids? And then he has to like totally readjust.
I always zone out because I don't even know what he's talking about.
Exactly. So it was like he I don't know if it's him just trying to hope that the conversation never goes to that, because he does just want to sit and talk mundanely on the phone all night. Like he doesn't, actually want to talk.
Yeah, he loves the minutia of your day. That's how you show him affection, is by just telling him every monotonous fucking detail of your day, because you're letting him into every piece of your day. So whereas a lot of people will be like, holy shit, don't ever call me and tell me this again. Lauren would love to hear all about how you went to the mailbox and got the mail, and how you sorted through the mail, and what you put in recycling and what you threw away, and what coupons you came all over. That'd be like Lauren would love that.
Well, I know somebody he can talk to.
Those the tire coupons.
Yeah.
But I had fun.
Good.
I had fun.
Good.
I have fun at every place I go.
Well, that's even better. Good for you.
Did you make $1 million today?
No, I don't think so.
No, I didn't either.
All right.
I tried.
Yeah, I
Didn't
bet
work,
you
though.
did. So, you had mentioned before that you thought about what we were talking about last night and had come up with a couple of things.
Yeah, well, I came up with one thing so far. It's control.
Control.
Yeah. Because where my life was out of control and I lost control of everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I think that something that I was after was something that I could control.
What about a girl Molly's age would give you that sense of control?
Molly, I'm still trying to figure that out.
Okay. So what are you talking about then when you say control? What are you referring to?
Well, okay. See how I was talking in the chat? Like I was making all the decisions of what to do.
When you were talking to Kayla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was
that's honestly the first time I ever recall hearing Lorne actually saying like I was the one controlling, like I was the only one telling us what to do, because typically when he talks about Molly or any of his catfish, he always says like we need to work on this, we need to stop doing this. So it's funny to hear that he actually says, you know how in the conversation I was controlling it.
It depends on where in the timeline with Tiffany that this came, because you remember there was one point where she just told him, no, stop saying that. You were in control. She was a child. So this could just be him parroting back. It's already been said to him because he knows that he can't say anything else. So
and clearly it didn't stick. It's basically just him saying that to try to get laid. But
yeah, no. So I think so. Yeah, it does sound like he's making progress, but that's only because he's saying back what's been told to him.
Yeah, I would imagine this would be probably somewhere around the MySpace Molly calls. Because from what I understand from those calls, he hadn't really talked to Emma and Debbie about her at that point. So the fact that she's bringing Molly up, it seems like it's right around then. So this is basically near before he went back to jail. So this is probably like mid 2019.
My way of being able to have control.
Okay.
I had where I lost control of everything in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking for some kind of control back.
Okay, so that's why you would have reached out to Kayla and Disney Girl and all those people?
Yeah.
Okay, so what about Kayla was giving you a sense of control?
I guess because she was young.
Okay.
And I knew that I'd have to control things. I'd have to control everything that happened, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I can come up with so far.
Okay.
But it's the only thing that makes sense to me right now because of where I lost control of everything in my life.
Okay.
It's like I lost control of my business, the way my business was going, the way the people that were working for me, the way that they were working for me,
mm-hmm.
the way that my family was treating me. Literally lost control of everything. And that's, I mean, even to the point where I lost control of myself and didn't know, just going out and getting drunk all the time and going to the karaoke bar all the time. And
so I don't know, or at least if you've talked about it, I don't remember your opinion. So, are you virgin or not virgin for Lorne?
I mean, I went back and forth. I really thought there's no way that he was in the Air Force and went through tech school and remained a virgin. But after hearing the latest AC calls, yeah, I think he's a virgin.
He's okay. Because I was gonna ask, because he tells those like conflicting stories about his sexcapades in Nashville, where it's like he has sex with a woman while her son's in the room, but then he gives him his truck to drive around, then he's having sex in his truck, and then Bud destroyed the bed, but it was actually he was banging a chick too hard and he broke the air mattress. So I think my opinion has always been I think some sexual things have happened, but I don't think he's ever actually had sex. Like
I'm sorry. I just think if you're gonna have sex on an air mattress, you need to get a hump rated air mattress. Ask for the hump seal of approval. Usher has a line of hump air mattresses out, and also Cisco. So,
I was gonna say if that's a market that we can corner, we can.
oh my God, are you kidding me? Hump rated math? No one's doing that right now.
No.
People are going camping again and exploring the outdoors. What y'all gonna do when you want to bang under the stars? This air mattress is too thin. This air mattress is too thick. This air mattress, made for humping.
I wonder how much Mark Cuban would give us for 49% of the company.
Well, are we gonna include this? Up on my air mattress. I mean, now it's worth $7 billion. All right, I'm sorry to throw you off.
Even when I had very little money to go, I wasn't thinking about anything else. I wasn't really caring about anything else. I was really out of control. It's like I didn't have control of anything. So I'm trying to get control back or something.
Okay.
That's the only thing that makes sense to me right now of why I would do that.
Well, I can see how somebody like Kayla would be attractive in that sense because she didn't.
Oh, and I totally forgot. I meant to thank Lord Tebow Baggins for sending me in Princess Madeline Felicity Dinglebottom the Fourth. Lord Tebow sent her in on my Discord. So if you want to send me some pet pictures, you can either email me the email up top or my Discord is, I believe, somewhere on my community tab. But if one of my moderators want to put an invite link, that'd be great.
Didn't know any better. She didn't know that your life was out of control. She didn't know that you were broke. She didn't know that you didn't have anything. She didn't know what already had happened in order for you to get to Nashville, the mess that was waiting for you up in Maine.
Right.
She didn't know all of that. She didn't know what it meant to have an alcohol problem.
Yeah, I think some of the blind stuff.
What?
You know, of her being blind to everything. I think that was. I think that helped me to continue going forward. And
does he not hear what he's saying though? I mean, I know he's saying the words just to say the words, but words that he is saying is that he lacked control in his life, so he sought out a child because he knew he could control her and that she would be innocent to the ways of the world.
Right. Exactly. And part of it, I'm surprised he didn't say, because, you know, Debbie said that, you know, she didn't have like alcohol problems and stuff like that. Lauren always specifically says about like the actual children that we know he's spoken to. He will always preface them first by saying, yeah, they talked to me about their problems. They had family problems. Their dad were drunks and all this other stuff. So he thinks he's saying that he's doing a service to these kids by giving them somebody to talk to. But what he's actually admitting to is a pattern of going after finding the weakest children that, like he said, is blind to the world, can be manipulated so that, you know.
If you've ever worked in sales, and you also see it in interview videos, the interview is the most important part. Like, if I'm selling cars and you walk into the car lot, want to know if you're financing now, who you're financing with, what kind of car you're driving. By finding out who you're financing with, I'm going to get an idea of your credit. I'm going to get all of that without you, just through conversation. So that way, I know, okay, if you have fucked up credit, we need to go in and run credit first. Because I'm not going to get you hooked on a car we can't get you financed on. So it's just a form of grooming, because you're going to use that later to close these people. So when you're getting all of this information from this child, Lauren is figuring out, okay, how am I going to manipulate this kid? It's just the interview process.
Right, and then once he finds out that they are sort of being pushed away by families or they don't have a lot of friends, Lauren's like, I'm in. And he,
of course.
Yeah.
And he knows what clothes he's got to do. That's all it is.
Right.
What does that mean?
To where she didn't know anything about me. No,
okay.
With all the stuff that you just listed, she was blind to all that. So I think with her being blind to all that, it made me less ashamed
Okay.
because she didn't have that knowledge.
Okay.
And she really wasn't old enough to have that knowledge.
No, she wasn't. She didn't have any real world experience. She never had a job before. She didn't know, so when you had said something like, isn't it going to be better now that I quit my job?
Yeah, and that didn't make any sense.
No, most people would say, it's not better that you quit your job. Why did you quit your job? What happened? What are you going to do now? People would think about, what are you going to do for bills? How are you going to pay your rent?
Yeah, it was messed
Well,
up.
as we all know, bills don't last forever, is what Lauren says in one of the Casey calls. So you don't have to worry about bills, forever. So why not just not have a job?
That was really messed up thing, yeah. And I didn't have a job lined up.
Mm-hmm.
So you know he didn't quit. He got fired.
Yeah, what is your opinion on, him saying that he told his boss to go fuck himself and he quit on the spot because he didn't like the way the guy ran the business or whatever? I mean, he clearly got fired.
He was working in telemarketing, and telemarketing it's a draw or commission job. You're either gonna make hourly because it's state law. You're gonna make minimum wage if you don't make enough commissions to cover minimum wage, and they're not trying to pay anybody minimum wage. If you're not making sales, they're going to give you a few weeks, and then they're going to fire you and bring in someone else.
Yeah, I haven't had sales experience, but I have worked in a call center, and it's so much turnover in a call center. So like,
oh my, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. So they would hire like a class of like 20 or 25 people and train them for a month, and we'd be lucky that 10 people graduated from that class.
50, yeah, that's so high. 50% would be amazing in a lot of places. So just imagine it's 6 p.m. because that's what they were calling people when they were home. 6 p.m. You're trying to cook dinner or just relax after work, and you get a call from mumbly ass Lorne reading, because that he's reading a script, and Lorne's not going to go off script. He's not going to learn the script so he can make it sound conversational. It would be, hello, my name is Lorne calling from, and you're like, hang up, or I don't have time for this. Lorne wasn't making any sales.
No, and he also outs himself by saying they tried to tell me who I couldn't talk to. So I feel like he's being a creep with all the ladies in the office, and he was reported to HR.
I don't believe that. What it was is that he was. If you're in sales, you're not making sales, and you're up walking around, just chit-chatting with people, they're gonna call you on that. Hey, you're not. Like, these people are trying to sell. You're over here chit-chatting. He's Michael Scott. When Michael Scott was doing the telemarketing, he was not very good at it.
That's how out of control it was. I just so good.
When it came to Kayla, and she was vulnerable, she was young, naive. She wouldn't have known that, someone like you was a big mess, like we said a couple minutes ago.
Right.
Whereas an adult woman would probably have a lot more to say about that.
Yeah, and like I said, that's why I think I felt less ashamed, and it helped me to continue going.
So I wonder why you wouldn't have worked on fixing your life rather than targeting a child, so that you could feel like you had some kind of power.
Because I think at that time, I depression had set in, and my life was just. I don't know. I think I got to think about this because I thought about it. I've thought about it before. Trying to make sense out of it.
Okay, so what were you thinking about?
Because where I knew I was depressed it was actually before I knew what depression was.
Mm-hmm.
Depression was like suicide. Lauren didn't believe in it. It was a little fairy tale to Lauren.
Yeah, you didn't believe it was just something that you have overnight. Feel sad, and then you wake up the next day, you're not depressed
And you're not.
anymore.
Yeah, you're not sad. Just get over it.
After when I was having it explained to me, they told me that you can tell when a person starts getting depression. They started listing off all these things that I had already done. They started giving things away. I gave three truckloads of tools away, and I'd give money away, and that all has to do with depression. But I can't understand how it. I guess I don't understand how depression really works, because it just doesn't make sense to just do that stuff.
There's an element there too where you had mentioned how much you idolized everyone, and giving stuff away and giving away money and buying people things can sometimes be your way of trying to get them to idolize you. Just like when it came to your brothers and your sister, when you were doing things for them, like when you talk about in your video that you fixed your sister's house and you gave her money for Christmas, and then you did stuff for your brother that normally people would have to pay a lot of money for. And you were doing that as a way of getting them to like you in the same way that you idolized them. So I don't necessarily know that giving stuff away and that type of thing, what you were up to, was necessarily tied to depression in the clinical sense of depression. It could be that you were throwing yourself under the bus in a way of getting people to like you.
Well, see, that's what my sister thought, and my brother thought that I was doing that stuff to get them to like me.
Mm-hmm.
And I already knew that they loved me.
They loved you because...
Yeah, but they didn't like you.
And they loved you as family. They didn't think of you as the hero, which is what he wanted to be.
Big time, yeah.
He wanted to be the big shot.
Yeah,
the fact that you're family. But they didn't look up to you the way that you looked up to them.
Which is kind of crazy, because I have a lot of brothers. Like, there's 7 kids in my family. So, but he is the baby. So it's just funny that, I guess because he was always treated like a baby, that he wants to be considered like, the elder, like like you said, the hero. Whereas typically when people are like the baby and they're baby like that's what they want. Or that's what they like, kind of like.
But Lauren was like bullied and shit. Like he talked about being no friends, and he stopped playing basketball.
Yeah.
Probably he always and even look at his dreams. His dream was to become a big country music star. Why do you think a lot of that is? He wants fame. He wants adoration. He wants to be able to spread his wealth among people and make them regret anything they've done to him before, or make them want to be around him. He would be that guy that would win the lottery and would be dead broke in 2 years.
Oh, I wouldn't even think it'd take 2 years. He'd be broke in a year.
He would I think it would take him about. It depends on how much he wins, but he would give a lot of it away and want to be that flashy guy and save nothing.
Right. He always comes off as, he tries to say that he does things to just be charitable, but he really likes to hold things over people's heads. So like if he were to just gift somebody 10 grand, then he would be like, he would feel superior to them, one, that he could give them, but also that they not necessarily owe him one, but he is now above them, kind of. Like that's what I felt when he's doing all these things for his family. That's what he really wants to feel.
Yeah. Yes. I agree.
Okay, then let me explain.
Tell you what, though, $500 million would buy a lot of sheetrock.
True.
My mom's side of the family is, they did things for each other all the time without expecting things in return and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Not mean.
Okay, like when Mom and Dale met, we used to live in this house in Cornville, this little house down the road here. Actually, I think I can send you a picture of it. But we used to live in that little house, and when Mom and Dale met...
Cornville 3-way had a question. He said, Asked you talk about your brothers, but you didn't mention their lips. How would you rate them in order from 1 to however many there are?
I would say it goes in descending order.
Yeah.
So just flip us 1 to 7. That would be the lip rating.
There's 7 of you?
Yeah. Yep. 7 kids, all boys.
Oh.
There's a lot. Except it's one of those
That's
things.
crazy.
It doesn't feel like it. Like when we're together, like it's obviously it's a lot of children to have, and there's almost basically 10 people always at my parents' house when I was a kid. But it's just like when we're all standing there. It just doesn't feel a lot. Now, if some of them, like the oldest one is 31 and the youngest one is 15. So like a lot of them 15, yep. A lot of them aren't adult yet, so I feel like if like a lot of us get older and have like kids and stuff and there's like a ton of
15-year-old. I look like I need a 15-year-old. Feel me?
So I can't remember what I was saying, or even why I went off on that tangent. But
I made it. First of all, I made up the comment, and no one wanted to hear that. So I got you off into like sheetrock talk territory.
Yeah, you fucking boot talked me, man. You got me.
Yeah, I made that up. Cornville 3 said no such thing. He already knows which of your brothers have the nicest lips. Experience.
No foundation underneath the house. The septic wasn't working. I can't remember if there was a well and we had to carry water or something like that. But Dale had fixed everything up on the house. He put a foundation under it. He fixed the septic, fixed the well, did all that. And my uncles came over, and
I will say the Duchess of Cornville that my mom said she'd rather have 7 boys than 1 girl. So I take that what you will. I don't know.
And they all helped.
Take that, girls.
To get it done. And none of them asked for any money to get paid doing it. And that's how it was with my uncles all through my growing up years. I mean, right up till they...
Your overage years, Lauren.
Started passing away. They just do things for each other without expecting anything back. And that's the way I always learned it with family, is do things for each other and don't expect things back. And that's why the macaroni and cheese came in, the deviled eggs came in, the meatballs came in, because I didn't want them to think that I wanted anything big back from them. After I did all the stuff that I did for them.
Well, nothing big back, but you wanted something back.
Yeah, but my purpose of wanting something back was to make sure that they didn't try to give me something expensive or big, so they wouldn't have to think they'd have to go out and spend money. But see, they took it the other way around. That I was expecting something back.
So you're telling me that you weren't expecting anything back?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't
Okay.
expecting anything back, but I wanted to make sure that they didn't go out and buy something expensive.
Right.
That's just
Buy you something expensive if you're giving them money. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and also the fact that now he's saying, I didn't want them to give me anything back, so then how is that a reason for you to do what you did with Kayla? Like, he's trying to have it both ways of, yeah, I know, I didn't want anything, I just wanted to be nice, and that was the end of the story, but when he needs an excuse as to why he tried to groom a 13-year-old for a month, oh, it's because they didn't give me meatballs and fucking mac and cheese.
Well, and deviled eggs.
And deviled eggs, yes. Don't forget the deviled eggs. And also, Wes, don't forget the Cash App.
That they couldn't afford. So that's why I was trying to let them know, I'd be happy with just macaroni and cheese or deviled eggs or meatballs.
Right, but you did expect those things.
But I expected that they would love me enough so that and be grateful enough for what I did, that they would do that for me.
Mm-hmm.
Just to show their
So
appreciation.
you expected it.
Mm-hmm.
And when they didn't, that's what really crushed me.
Right, so you were expecting something back. That's what the
I
point
can,
is.
yeah, I guess I was just so that I know that they appreciated it. I didn't really think about that until you just said it a second time.
Well, you were blaming them for a lot of things. You were blaming them for the downfall of your life. And you were saying people used me all the time. And they were prime examples.
Yeah, it was upsetting to have someone that you idolize come at you just for the sake of money.
I guess the point is that you idolized them growing up.
Yeah,
And you wanted them to idolize you somehow. Because at that point, you had something that they needed, which was money to fix up their homes or whatever. So you had the power and the control in that situation. You were able to give it to them. And I'm sure that they were grateful in whatever way that they expressed it. If they just said, hey, thanks, and walked away, and then that was it, then that was it.
maybe I just had a hard time accepting that.
Accepting what? Them saying just thank you and that was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I never really thought about it like that.
Well, think about it, because when you were just explaining your family and how people did things for each other without expecting anything in return, we've sort of uncovered that there was the expectation of something in return.
Yeah. All these years, I never even thought about that. Oh God.
And now he thinks it's cute because he's giggling. So now he thinks he's got Debbie right where he wants her.
Yeah, they made a breakthrough together.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you were the only one that could ever get me to admit that.
Look how well we work together.
How well. We're just so fucking awesome and so special.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to be appreciated. I mean, I think that if I were to do something for someone and they didn't even acknowledge with a thank you, that would hurt my feelings.
Well, I guess it's still upsetting to me because of the fact that I was expecting something. You know, all this time saying that I wasn't expecting anything when I really was, and that I made them look bad because of all the stories that I say when I really was expecting something from them.
Right, and then you were also blaming them for the reason why you had to leave Maine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I left Maine is because I couldn't take it anymore. What they did to me at Betty's, that really messed me up. A couple of jobs before that too that did start doing the same type of thing, and I was trying so hard to get them come to work. It's like Mom I even had to call Mom one time to go over and wake Tony up. Tony had gotten dunked the night before. Mom went over and woke him up. Told him that he needed to go to work.
Like, it's funny, Lorne acts like he's the one that's on time to work. He was always there. He was always the one left hanging. Like, it was Tony, Roy, all of them. They were just all drunk and they all woke up late. Like, they definitely all acted the same way. It's just they could take advantage of Lorne because he's stupid.
Yeah, I just think Lorne, he wanted to be the buddy boss. He hired his friends. He gave the money to his family, not profit, not money left over, after he did the job and got all the materials and shit. But like right up, he got paid up front. He was going to make that up on another job. He was going to get another job and pay for it. And he really, just the same way he wanted to impress his brothers and sisters by giving them money and only asking for token things in return. He hired his friends so that they would be like, holy shit, Lorne, you're so cool. Look, you own this business and you're hiring us. And he wasn't going to yell at them for showing up late or fire them when they couldn't do the job. He was buddy boss.
And it's the audacity he has, because I believe, so he runs through the 30,000 that Betty gives him. And the whole reason why she also really stopped it was he came back and I asked for like another 15, like right after or something like that. Like he was just using her as an ATM at that point, trying to see how much he could get out of her. And they finally were like, can you show us what you did? And that's when Lorne fled. He's like, oh, I left Cornville. You fled Cornville, Lorne.
And that's how bad things were getting. It really sucked in not having a reliable crew.
I mean, obviously, your hiring wasn't the best. You were hiring your friends and your family, and sometimes that doesn't turn out well.
It didn't turn out well for me. I definitely should have gone out of the family for that one.
Well, the unfortunate thing, too, is that not only were things happening with you, but they were passed along to other people so that they then had a burden to bear for the shit that you were feeling.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Betty.
Yeah, I'm talking about Betty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know I put a strain on her.
Huge.
Then I was so ashamed then that I was ashamed to even show my face. Of course, Tony and Paul just went about their shit like nothing ever. Like there's no problem to them.
Well, technically, it wasn't their problem.
No, it was mine.
It was your problem. It was total mismanagement of the project.
Yeah.
Total mismanagement of money. Horrendous hiring of people who weren't qualified.
Yeah. First, they weren't even qualified to show up.
Well, I mean, and that's when, as a business owner, as someone who has a responsibility for completing a job, that's when it's your responsibility to step in and get the job done.
Yeah, Upgrade.
You can't sit back and say, well, they didn't show up today. Oh, well.
Didn't pass the call. Upgrade. That'd be very funny if, right after Chris caught Lorne in To Catch a Contractor, like it's like the back-to-back episodes, they catch Lorne and then catch him on To Catch a Contractor. Oh, that'd be great.
Pieces of shit.
Yeah, I know.
And then, unfortunately for Betty, she became responsible for that because she already paid you.
I could go back and do it all over again. But,
well, you could by giving her money back. He's acting like there's no way he could ever make things better with Betty. And the one thing is giving her money. It's always, oh, that sucks. I can't. It sucks.
things differently if I'd known then what I know now.
That's an impossible thing to do. So the only thing that you can do is move forward and do the right thing.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to do the wrong thing. I want to make things right with Betty. I hate that it's taking me so long to.
I'm taking up a zone and it sure feels great. Doing it, I'm
doing
it right.
Make it right. I'm packing up my truck and I'm leaving late.
I like the clap breakdown near the end of that.
He's thinking about how he's going to move to Nashville. He's going to make it big. Then he's going to pay. First recording contract, I promise I'm going to pay Betty back. Actually, let me get online right now and find a record producer. Let me just go into the Yahoo chat room first. Who's this? Well, hello, Kayla.
Ooh.
I'll look for an agent. I'll look for an agent tomorrow. First thing tomorrow, agent, pay Betty back.
It's like in that episode when Cartman's like, "Goodbye, Butters," and he's like walking away. That's what he does to Gwen, like, "Goodbye, Mother. I'll drop in for you from time to time." Just Lorne backing up. He didn't drive to Nashville. He just slowly backed out of Cornville, waving goodbye to his mom.
Just get my head straightened out a little bit. I hate that it takes so long to get Tony out of my life. What'd you think of Tony? I don't know if I need to ask that. I know what you thought of him.
I don't have a high opinion of Tony.
Yeah,
I don't care that he sits around and he doesn't do anything and he just has people come and bring him beer. I mean, who cares? I mean, he's not somebody that I would associate with. The way he fucking sounded last night, I wouldn't speak to him for more than 5 seconds.
He's losing more and more friends all the time.
Okay, well, good for him. And then he also referred to me as a young cunt. So what the fuck is that?
Oh, I mean, sometimes when you're right, you're right. Lorne has that thing that he does when he's getting a little too much on him. Want to bring up someone else like Roy or in this case Tony. What did you think of him? What difference does it make? Like, this isn't even about Tony, but let's move the focus on him and how he's not a good person. That way, when I theoretically remove him from my life, that's somehow going to make it better. But Tony has been gone now since 2020. Lauren's life is not improved.
No, not one bit. If you look at his trailer, it has actually devolved. So,
Exactly.
Lauren's got to bust out that pressure washer that Tony had for 6 months and spray off the side of his house.
He put up a little shrine to Tony right on top of it. That and the Kirby vacuum
pressure
cleaner.
The pressure washer is the base.
It's the base of the shrine.
I don't think he was referring to you, because I don't think I've ever mentioned you to him.
You probably have. Yesterday you said you didn't talk about me to Mom either, but you have. And then after a little bit of questioning, I was like, oh yeah, I remember now. So you've obviously spoken to him too.
Well, maybe I have. I don't remember at the phone. I'm wondering if he was talking about when he was down in Florida.
Did he know that I was on the phone?
No, he didn't know. I didn't know you weren't on the phone. I thought you were on the phone.
Well, the thing is that you know how to do a three-way call, and you fucked up a lot.
Shout out to Jiffy.
Well, when it came to three-way, I didn't realize that it said in call on one of them, on two of them. And then it said Tony's name down the bottom, the farmer on hold. But I could hear Tony's voice. I was like, okay, well, in call must be Debbie on the other line. So it did that twice, and that's where I thought you were on the line. And that last time, it read three-way call. I was like, oh, I thought she was on the line. It's
the fuck is he talking about? Like, Jesus.
in call instead of three-way call. That was an honest mistake. There was nothing dishonest about that. I'm not gonna lie to you about that.
Do you know what I do when you say I'm not going to lie to you?
You laugh.
Well, don't tell me you roll your eyes.
Yeah.
Well,
Tiffany does when you say anything to her, she rolls her fucking eyes.
Oh, I thought she said, "What do you do?" As in, she was going to say that he liar laughs.
No, she said, "What does she do?" And it's roll her eyes.
I mean, I've streamed with Tiffany a few times, and I can tell when her eyes roll, and it is a lot. So
they're just constantly rolling.
Just I don't know how her eyes haven't gotten stuck like that.
Got laser.
I'm seriously not gonna lie to you about it. That's exactly what happened. I had almost given you Tony's number for you to call him, because the way my phone works, I have to keep pressing the button to get it over. And when it read Tony's name down the bottom, the farmer on hold, and I had you on in call, that's where I thought you were there.
It's weird how he's referring to him as both Tony and Farmer. Like, he's saying he had Tony on hold. He had Tony on hold and Farmer at the bottom or something. Like, they're the same person. It's like they're two entities.
It's like Slim Shady and Eminem. When he's got the Budweiser in him, he's Farmer.
Right.
Because that's when he goes fucking nuts. But when he's just a regular sober guy, or he's drinking anything other than Budweiser, he's Tony.
Yeah, it's a real Jekyll and Hyde situation there for old Farmer.
So you got to ask him first when you see him, who am I talking to? He'll be like, Farmer! Just kicking doors off and ripping shit apart.
Downing kegs of Budweiser.
Got the Budweiser rhythm.
I'm not lying to you about that.
Okay, whatever you say.
You don't believe me now. Oh, shoot. Well, I'm not lying to you about it, so I don't feel guilty about that. That was an honest mistake.
All right, so you were talking about the control thing and why you think that may have attracted you to wanting to victimize Kayla.
Yeah, because she was young and I could control her. control everything that was happening.
Okay.
Because everything in my life was out of control. So when I was thinking about, I was thinking about it really hard when I was driving this morning, trying to figure it all out, and just thinking back on all the control that I lost in my own life, from my business, and the way the family was reacting to me, and the drinking. I'd never been that out of control with everything. And the more I thought about it, especially when it came to Betty's job, it's like everything was just completely gone. I had no control over anything. That's where I realized, that's got to be a huge thing, because I was looking for control for something. Nothing that I had about me was in control.
Okay, well, what about your decision to move to Nashville? That was your decision.
It was my decision, but I kept fluctuating my mind on going back to Washington or going to Nashville.
Right, but you ended up in Nashville.
Yeah.
So that would be, in a sense, I suppose, even though it's the coward way of doing things, it was your way of taking back control and saying, I'm going to run away from my problems and I'm going to go to Nashville. So that's what you did. You got an apartment, you got a job.
Think of how
and
different
then
this story would be if Lauren would have decided to go back to Washington. And with the way Lauren is, people in his life and the connections with people, it's very strange that he didn't back to Washington, where he knew people, where don't you think, like, as closely talks about his family being and these nieces and stuff, he chose to go somewhere where he knew no one. He didn't have a job lined up in Nashville. It's not like he went there to work for a trucking company. That dude went there, no job, and got hired at some telemarketing place that probably hires 50 people a week.
Yeah, because listening to like the Casey calls and things like that, he's, besides his time in Alaska, he's always ever just lived with family. Like he had never been by himself.
And even I mean, the military, obviously those don't count, but outside of that, yeah, he's always been with or around family. So it's very strange. And then when you put that together with his cousins or the nieces logging off as soon as he got on MySpace when he was talking to Kayla, there had to have been there was something that happened, some sort of confrontation or
so he couldn't,
accusations.
Yeah.
Because no, I don't think that he couldn't, but he said that he thought about going back to Washington or Nashville. It was between those two, he decided on Nashville. So it was still in the picture, but maybe he thought he wasn't as welcome there as he was previously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is, when you bring it up like that, yeah, it is weird that he decides to go to Nashville. Because, like, is it just because he had the money at that point to at least finance a trip to get there? He had a few $100s that he could actually drive down and put a deposit down on an apartment. And he thought, as any time, there's no other time than now, basically. He needs to leave. Could he... I guess because it's closer, he could drive there, because he's, is he going to drive across country to Washington? He probably didn't have enough money, or will he just drive down there again? To get there, but yeah.
Or even just the fact that he could say, "Oh, well, I'm not running away. I'm going to go become a country music star." So in Nashville, what was he going to say? What was he going to do in Washington?
Stalk Paula again, I guess.
Well,
Can he get a job?
If he goes to Washington, it looks like he's running. If he goes to Nashville, it looks like he's running towards a dream.
That's true.
That to me would be like, I'm starting over.
I think that's exactly what it was. I wanted to start over and not where I didn't know anybody.
Right.
So that nobody could come to me to use me.
Well, if your pattern is that you have low self-esteem and you allow people to use you so that they like you, then that was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, but at the time, I wasn't thinking that.
Okay. So if moving to Nashville was your way of trying to take back control of your life, get away from having to see people every single day that you felt like were using you, then where does Kayla come in at that point? Because you had already gotten away from the stuff that was making you feel out of control in the sense of people using you and taking advantage of you. So now you're in Nashville, you sit down at your computer, you go into the chat room, and you see Kayla. What happens then?
I think that's where I feel I might be able to get some control back. 'Cause I didn't have control of everything in my life. Even though I made the decision to go to Nashville, I in my own apartment, I got a good job. I still didn't feel like I had control.
Mm-hmm.
And I get someone in control of something that I don't know. So I got to think about that more.
Yeah, I think that you
He
do.
couldn't automatically come up with another point to getting control back, so he's now trying to change the subject.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure where I would get where all of this sexual stuff would come from.
I don't know either.
Because there are plenty of women who unfortunately would be easy to victimize. Women who have been in abusive relationships before, so they know what they're in for. But they're in an adult body.
Yeah.
And that's
So
the
what
thing.
was it?
If Lauren really wanted to find, and I'm not saying if Lauren really wanted to find vulnerable women who he could have looked for women in bad relationships. He could have looked for women who had been married for a long time and maybe their husbands didn't pay. They were all there. They were in the same chat rooms he was going to. He just probably would have had to work a little harder. It wouldn't have been as easy as talking to children and singing for them and trying to make them feel special. But if all he wanted was some control of his life, some control in a relationship where he had someone who was wanting to please him or whatever, he could have found that in adult. So no amount of depression, no amount of anxiety, no amount of lack of anything is going to make you want to have sex with a child unless you already in your mind want to have sex with a child. So you're at a point where you're so depressed you just say, fuck it, what else do I have to lose?
Now, is also part of it that Lorne is self-aware enough to know he doesn't have really any experience dating, like, or any sexual experience or dating experience?
Oh, no, because so even then you're not going to say, well, I don't have any experience. It's like saying, well, I've asked out every woman in town and they said no, so I'm going to go fuck a dude. Don't do that. You don't just decide because you want someone who lacks experience that you're attracted to children now, because there are lots and lots of people who haven't had sex and a person won't willingly have sex with them, and they don't just say, okay, well, since I can't get an adult, I'm gonna go have sex with a child, because they're not attracted to children. You have to have that attraction to children to even consider it.
Right.
About Kayla in the fact that she was not in an adult body. She hadn't really gone through puberty yet. What was exciting for you about that?
I don't know. I guess I got to think about it more.
Okay. And then the other thing that came up for me while you're talking about this is that this is Kayla. This isn't Molly, who was 3 or 4 years before Kayla.
So we got to think about that some more too.
There's nothing to think about.
I know.
Nope.
Sorry.
With Molly, there's thinking. Trying to think back to them. With Molly, there's a lot of me being able to talk to her.
But you weren't talking to her, though, because I do remember you saying that you didn't really talk to her about your problems and things that were going on until she was older.
Yeah, because most of the time I listened to her problems.
Okay.
But as time went on, is when I started having problems.
Okay, but that was later on.
Well, is he admitting that he's trying to get enough information to then manipulate them once he needs something out of them?
Well, he's not. I don't think he knows what he's saying. I mean,
So he's
trying to make it.
again, he's trying to make it sound like he's a nice guy by letting them,
Yeah.
dump onto him like all of their trauma, when really, like, it just seems like he's letting them talk so that he could figure out what's
I was just helping her out.
Right.
I was the mentor. I was going to help her out. I was going to tell her stay away from guys online. I was going to tell her about the dangers of the chat rooms, and somehow we ended up falling in love.
Just randomly. It was so weird.
I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
So when it first started, that's when your problem started. So that's what you need to understand.
You figure why I even talked to her. She was underage. It's frustrating. So I don't want some answer just flying off my head and when I know it wouldn't be the right answer, because I don't want to be fake about it.
No, I don't want you to be fake about it. I think that a lot of times when you ask yourself a question and the answer pops into your head, that's going to be the right answer. That's going to be the correct answer.
Yeah,
it may not be what you want.
I talk to you and then you make me think more.
Well, but it may not be what you want. It may show a side of yourself you don't like. That other people aren't going to like. But if that's the answer, then that's the answer. And then you go from there. You don't try to say, well, I don't like that answer, so I'm going to push it aside. And I'm going to get something that sounds a little bit better.
Well, that's not what I'm trying to do, though. I want to know for a fact what the answer is. I don't want to. I don't want to think of myself that way.
And that's one of those things Lauren says all the time is, I need to find the answer when he's given it over and over and over again. He needs to find an answer that excuses him from any fault. That's
on the long. Oh, sorry.
No, that's it. I was just going to say that's what he's looking for.
I was going to say the longer he says he's looking for it, then he doesn't have to actually find it.
It's just,
you can always just say looking for that answer. He's searching for it. He's almost there.
He's almost. Yeah,
it's like people. It's like those people who continue doing shitty things to people, but then they talk about how they're healing. They're never, but they just continue doing shitty things daily. But they're like, oh my god, like that girl who was stalking me, constantly talk about how she's healing, but stalking me, not healing.
And I always hear that a lot in Debbie calls, where Debbie lays it out very well about everything he does, and he's always like, well, that's good enough for you, and basically good enough for probation and everybody else, but that's not good enough for me. And then they'll ask, well, what else is there? We talked about why you did it, what led you to do it, all these things. What else is there? And it's really just unable to accept that that's who he is, and also that he really just wants to blame somebody. He can't bear to be the one at fault for his falses.
So much truth in that, it's unreal. I don't like thinking of myself being like that. I don't want to think of myself in that way. I don't want other people thinking of me that way. I mean, so many people do it now. Sad. But
why is that sad?
Because it's not sad because they have every right to that.
Yeah, it's not sad.
I guess it just bothers me.
I'm sure that it does. I'm sure that it does. But it didn't bother you when you exposed yourself to Molly.
No.
So that's the problem.
Just wanting to figure out what was going on with me, so I allowed myself to do that.
Well, I've always felt that there's two things at play. There's what's going on inside of your head, and then there are the things that happen outside of you, the actions that you take.
See, I think it's a little more simple than that. The two reasons why Lauren exposed himself as much as he did, all of those kids. No, reason one is he's an exhibitionist, and reason two is a pedophile. And that's all the reasons.
Yeah, but what's the reason that you can give Lauren that would then excuse him from all of it? You're not thinking this, see?
I do have a reason. Because he wasn't in his right mind at the time.
You're so good. This is why I had you on, Wes. Nobody could come up with that but you.
So if you were feeling a sexual attraction to teenage girls, that can all be inside of your head. No one can stop it. But what the important piece of that is that you don't act upon it.
Yeah, and I was acting on it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You were acting on it. That's where your problem is.
Yeah, but when I knew that it was something I shouldn't be acting on, I want to figure out why I did.
Because you wanted to, and you didn't think you were going to get caught.
Oh yeah.
So there's your answer. It's very simple, Lauren.
I wish I could say it was that simple. But it's like, that's the answer.
Right. So why are you trying to make it so complicated? Like you have to reach this point of enlightenment in order to come up with this answer from the universe that is so profound that you just can't see it right now. Come back to reality and allow yourself to acknowledge the ugly answer.
But I want to understand that.
That was by Slim and M, if you didn't know, Wes.
I want to understand why I allowed myself to do it.
I just told you why.
Why is that?
Okay. So why is that difficult for you to come to terms with? Why?
Because I still want to understand it. I knew not to do it.
Right, but you didn't think you were going to get caught. Period.
Oh, well, hold on. Oh, he told himself he was never going to get caught in a sting.
So, I find it fascinating that he says it that way, that I told myself I was never going to get caught, and he thinks he's saying, like...
That's like a junkie getting caught, or someone getting caught cheating, or like someone getting caught doing some crime that they've been doing for a long time that they knew there was a chance, but I told myself I was never the only thing that would have been better is if he would have said that while he was laying on the ground getting arrested outside of the fucking sting house. I told myself I was never going to get caught in a sting. What's up, Milena?
Oh, Milena, hello, fellow Americans. This you should vote me. I leave power. Good.
I know that's the answer. It's so hard for me to explain this.
I need you to try, because I don't understand why you're making this so complicated.
I'm not making it complicated.
You're trying to, though.
For me to understand.
You're but you're trying to, because when I tell you what the answer is, I'm telling you the truth, and it's obvious that you wanted to do it. You didn't think you were going to get caught. Therefore, you followed through with particular actions.
Right. But that's the answer for everybody else.
Why is that not your answer? Why?
I guess I was referencing this call when I was saying that earlier. He must say it in multiple calls. But again, how is that not your answer? It's just he can't. It's because it puts him at false. That's all.
Because that's my answer too. But my problem is I want to figure out why I allowed myself to do it. Why I allowed myself to think that.
You just told him because you didn't think you were going to get caught.
You didn't think you were going to get caught. You told yourself you weren't going to get caught. As he's typing to children, I'm not going to get caught in a sting.
I don't think he was worried about getting... That's when he says he told himself he was never going to get caught in a sting. I don't think he was aware of stings. Because he never at any point... He was worried about her catfishing him, her not being the child she said she was. At no point was he like, shit, are you the police? You the police? He didn't say any of that.
The only time he
He,
brings up the
you the
police
police.
is that if they get caught, if they together get caught having sex, he will go to
Yes.
jail. It's not
Yeah.
you are the police and will arrest me.
No. No. So I don't think he would ever even consider the fact that this could be a sting. I don't think he was aware shit like that was going on.
And then because TCAP was what 3 or 4 years old at that point, and he supposedly watches the news a lot. So it is kind of crazy that he had never ever heard
But
of it.
he's gonna zone out on that. He's not because it's not real children. But if it was about like an actual 13-year-old getting arrested or getting found because of TCAP, then he would have been aware of it. If something would have happened where like some child, he would have known because he pays attention. Any news stories about like young, attractive girls that something happens to them.
And he was in chat rooms forever. He never heard anybody else bring up, hey, they do have this TV show where they catch people and stuff like that. It's just, but I guess he's not talking to adults who watch the news, so he would never.
Yeah, well, he's in. Why would they be talking about that? He's in country music rooms and stuff.
That's true. That just proves he wasn't going there to groom a child because he was in a country music chat room. Who goes to a country music chat room to do that? Nobody.
The role-playing chat room. He was and we was in a role-playing chat room.
Wes, I got 4 words for you. Let's continue.
Because you're selfish.
No, I want to understand that. I want to understand why I did that.
You're selfish.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that was part of it.
Yeah.
It's a big part of it.
Yeah, it was a big part of it.
You were selfish, and you didn't think that you were going to get caught. The reason why you haven't paid Betty back is because she can't force you to.
Well, she's been paid back in entertainment, so...
Laugh. She's been paid back in chuckle bucks.
Yeah, chuckle bucks, yeah.
And you may not be able to deposit those in the bank, but those go right to the heart.
Right to the heart.
So you didn't want to. And therefore, you haven't.
I'm sending them more money again next week.
But that's not the point that I'm making, and I think that's great. I hope you continue to do that. But I'm saying the reason you haven't all of this time is because you didn't want to.
Yeah, I know. Well, not because I wanted to. I haven't had all the money there to do it.
You have had the money. You have. You know that.
But
we
you know how fucked up my bills were.
It wasn't the bills. Do you have a bill for beer to go over Tony's? No.
No.
Those are your choices. Do you have a bill for the auction? No.
No. So I know what you're saying. So I was doing all the extra stuff. That
it is funny the way, as we talked about earlier, like the way Lauren treats and thinks about bills is he's like, and maybe you, I don't know if this would be like an actual car sales question or not, but in the Bud Light polygraph call at the end, he talks about how, because he's paying like $630 a month for that Dodge Journey. And Debbie's like, how do you afford that? And he's like, well, when I can't pay, I call them up and they work with me and they put like half of it on my next month and then half of it on the month after that or whatever. So instead of this month paying $600, he's paying like $900. And I would assume it would be to one of those dealerships that are the ones who finance like through them.
No, because he said he financed with the credit union. So, but yeah, if you can call your car loan place and say, hey, I can't pay this month. I need to add it to the end of my thing, and
right,
you'll pay like a small
kind of thing.
Pay like a small fee, and they'll just add it on to the end. Lauren's gonna call and try and make payment arrangements all the time. Like, hey, is there any way I can't pay this month, but I'll give you half. I'll give you half next month and half the month after that, and then he'll have to call and make another payment arrangement
every month. It's
yeah.
and he even says to Debbie that he called the electric company and told him he couldn't pay because he had to pay Roy that month. Like, imagine the electric company being like, "Who the fuck's Roy? Like, what is
They're
that?"
typing. I bet they typed it in the notes.
Like he
Couldn't
he
pay
could
back.
not pay us.
Must
He
pay
had to
back
pay Roy.
Roy.
And
Meanwhile, Roy's sleeping in a ditch somewhere.
right. After having sex though, so he still got laid in a ditch.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is a sex sleep, but it is still sleep in a ditch.
Right.
He also had sex in the ditch. So.
Right. Always in the ditch. Yeah. The call center job I worked with was for I was a student loan servicer, so I was like the repayment side of it. So like when you couldn't pay, you would either use your forbearance time or you would have a deferment if you're like in school or whatever.
Yeah.
If Lauren had student loans, he would use up his 3 years of forbearance right off the bat. Like he would just call every month and say, "Hey, I need my," and he'd just waste that 3 years and then
Because he'd figure at the end of 3 years he'd be rolling in money, and then it would be no problem just to pay it all.
What's funny is that he would probably think you could get that discharged with bankruptcy, and student loans you cannot. So he would be fucked.
They could have just said money spending.
Right, and you have a $600 payment for your car.
Yeah.
You smoke like a chimney.
I am really trying to quit.
I'm not.
And this is the moron who did quit for 6 months in jail and then smoked because he wanted to throw it in the man's face when he got out of jail. Like, he did it. He finally did it, and then he immediately fucks himself.
Listen, I don't
I
care.
really am.
I really don't give a shit. Honestly, I don't. I don't care.
do.
The point is, Lauren, is that you have had the money. You didn't want to spend it on her. You didn't want to give it back. There wasn't some kind of an outside influence forcing you to do that, whether it was through a lawsuit or
I was being selfish.
somebody being, strong arming you to do that.
I was being selfish.
Right, you were being
Yeah.
selfish.
I was being shellfish.
Sucks.
I know. I'm sure it sucks to be an asshole. But what you have to do is you have to.
Yeah, Duke for Brains. It was like $630. Like, it was over 600. It wasn't just 600.
Confront that. And you're going to decide whether or not you want to be a better person. And you have to admit that you've been a fucking prick all of these years. You fucked over Betty big time. You fucked over Molly. You fucked over Melissa. You fucked over everyone.
Yeah, I know. I admit it too.
Sucks being an asshole.
You're not admitting
He doesn't
it. I'm
agree with
telling
any
you.
of that. He doesn't agree with one fucking thing she said.
Not one bit. And that's why he's trying to move on past it quickly by just agreeing.
But he believes he was good to every one of those women, and then he also was justified because he was catfished by what was her name?
Amanda James.
Amanda James. So he basically got a free pass. Anyone who fucked him over or who he fucked over, because he's been ultimately fucked over.
Do you think that, I mean, because the way he tells the story is, that he talked to Amanda James for months and months and months, and she was only on the phone with his sister for like 2 minutes, and she was like, "Yeah, this is a scam." Is it was it just so obvious, or?
Oh, dude, it's so common. Like working and dating as long as I did, you hear these crazy stories about catfishing. So Hanson and I are working on this new series about specifically dating things, and our first story is Farrah Abraham's mom from Teen Mom. Do you remember Teen Mom?
I know the show Teen Mom, but I wouldn't know like who was on it, but I do know it. Yeah.
All right. Well, Deborah Danielson, she was on the show, and she got scammed out of $200,000 by this dude on a dating site who told her he was. And it happens a lot. They clearly have like a Jamaican. I can't explain it's an African type dialect. But they'll tell them they're this white guy from Europe, and I speak a mix of German and Dutch
with a heavy lisp.
Yeah, with the heavy because of Celsius.
Yes.
But then they get on the phone and they'll have like a recording. And the guy clearly sounds like they're in like Somalia or some shit, but she buys it, and this woman fell for the same thing. So, dude, it's really common because, especially for someone like Lauren, you can believe what you want to believe. You're gonna hear what you want to believe. Just getting on the phone is gonna be like, it justifies it right there. This person is real, and his sister probably listened to this person. and immediately said, "Lauren, you're a fucking idiot."
Big time. Like, you are an absolute moron. I just love how it took her minutes to decipher that. And then he kept talking to the catfish for 6 months after that. Like, he will never let anybody go. Like,
Well, yeah, because she put in the time, so he's thinking, well, you must actually do care about me. Let's make this work.
I mean, that's what he did with Ramona, is that, yes, your intentions were to catfish me, but the way that I treated you and the things that we went through, you would have to have fallen in love with me. So let's keep talking. It's how he is that delusional.
Well, I know. I'm telling you, you're right. I've been a fucking prick. Been a selfish prick. No, I don't like it.
Do you not like it because you're being called out for it right now?
No, I don't like it. I don't like being like that.
Then why haven't you stopped yourself? Why didn't you stop 12 years ago? Why didn't you draw the line in the sand and say, oh my God, I have done the worst thing. Look what I just did. I'm so ashamed of myself. I have to make it right. There was no line in the sand. There was nothing. There was nothing bringing you back. There was nothing that was going to make you be a good person until you were forced to stop and go to prison.
12 years ago, I didn't have the right frame of mind to understand what I was doing, what I had done.
And then when you got out of prison, you still didn't have it. You still didn't have it until you just started sending money to Betty because you were being pushed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You were being guilted into doing it. You didn't feel that guilt on your own.
Now I'm understanding it more. Before I wasn't even trying to understand it. Oh, I became so selfish.
Looking out for number one. And then pointing at everyone else and saying, well, you're selfish too.
Yeah, I know I've done that.
Pointing at Tony and your brothers at the job site and saying, look at these fucking guys.
I don't like being selfish.
Lorne, what's wrong, Lorne? I don't like being selfish. Well, Lorne, it's easy to fix that. It is? That's right. How? Why, next time you want to be selfish, just open your heart as big as it goes, and your love will grow and grow. I can be unselfish now. I just reenacted that for you in a Sesame Street style because that's how it was presented.
I thought Mima was gonna bounce him on her knee and give him a little life lessons.
Mima's not that kind of Mima. Mima would want Lorne dead. Mima, who, of course, I don't know if you know this, but that's actually she started as that's honest as Mima.
That is honest Mima.
It's honest Mima, yeah. Very, very mean Mima.
Why are you ashamed of it?
Because all this time I thought that I had done things before that made me not selfish. To think of other people, then I stop and think about everything. When you list things off like that, it makes me realize it's exactly how selfish I was.
Sucks being an asshole.
I hurt people by being selfish.
You hurt a lot of people by being selfish and by being a coward.
Yeah, I know.
Essentially by being a monster walking around in sheep's clothing. I'll talk to you, sweetheart. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, it was sad.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was sad.
Maybe even talk to me with this.
Lorne, are you crying?
Much of an asshole.
Now we get to his close. So this whole time he's been just, kind of warming her up, getting her to where he feels like he wants her to be. They've come to a point where now he's going in for the close, like, hey, so I know we've just talked about me being a pedophile for 45 minutes, but what's up with me and you?
Well, yeah, what's up? What that
What's
mouth
up,
do?
what a girl?
Because I want to tell you all of this stuff.
Oh, that's the purpose.
Yeah, you need to hear it.
Let me know I'm an asshole.
That is true, one of those weirdos. Wes, if bombs fell on your city, you would probably remember the last one rather than the first one. So
It's a bully comment. It's a bully comment.
Oh, God. I don't blame you. I deserve it.
Yep, you do. So is there anything else that you thought about in relation to this stuff? You have some more admissions to do, I think.
Admit that I love you.
So I think I
Yeah.
thought about today. Control thing.
Okay. And you do know that
That's
that's
a
predatory
fact.
behavior, right?
Yeah. It sucks. Fuck me, cat.
So I really want you to think about the real reason why you were talking to Molly.
I will think about that one.
Sorry, he just reminded me of Jordan right there. Where like you would tell him something, and Lauren just went. He just sighed. Because Donde was listening to the apology calls today, and the audio of Christian Bale yelling at the lights person. Like anytime I listen to it, like something becomes my new favorite part of it. Listening in Donde's stream, I love it when he goes, "Wes, you know me," and you just go, "No, I don't." Like just, no, I don't.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, he goes, because he's trying to like talk about himself, like, "Wes, you know me." No, I don't. Like, he just say it like very deadpan, and he just goes right past it. He doesn't even try to like say what.
That's a bully. Hold on. That's a retroactive bully dollar. That's mean.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, nearly 3 years ago. Put that money in the jar.
She thought into that.
And don't
I know
make
you
it something complicated, because it's not complicated.
80s girl. My favorite part is when he goes, "Da-da-da-da-da." That's the best part.
It isn't.
I know you think the answer is simple. That it
It
should
is.
be simple for me.
It is.
It should be.
It is. What you're having difficulty with is admitting it.
No, you're right.
I know that I'm right.
Listen, little Miss Cocky.
Wait, did he say Little Miss Cock? Or Cocky? Hang on.
He's a
I
little
know.
Miss Cocky.
I know that I'm right.
Listen, little Miss Cocky.
He really doesn't hit that E at the end, like E sound.
No.
It's cock E.
I can still think about stuff.
Yeah, it says Cornville Three-Way said, "I'm 3 subs away from 1,000, so everybody please unsubscribe as soon as possible."
You can think about
Never
stuff.
subscribed in the first place. So.
I know. I have to send Wes my stream links every day I stream and hope that he shows up.
Of course you can, and you should.
He's told me to stop many times, but it's kind of like a habit at this point.
But I'm saying that when you are purely honest with yourself, the answer is there. You already know what it is. You don't want to admit it because you know what it means. You know what everyone thinks about what it means.
Do I hate thinking about it?
Why do you hate thinking about it?
So I do. I hate thinking about myself that way.
But you are that way. So in what other way are you supposed to think of yourself?
I'm not anymore.
You just haven't acted on it, Lauren.
I haven't acted because I'm not that way anymore.
All right, whatever you say.
I have a hard time even looking in the direction of underage people now.
Good.
You're really mad at me, aren't you?
Why would you think that I'm mad at you? And why does it matter?
Because it does matter to me.
Why would you think that I'm mad at you? Where did that come from?
Because the way you respond.
I'm not necessarily the most gentle person.
Gee, you could have fooled me.
Yeah. I mean, but you don't need gentle. That's where I think you
No, I don't
you
need
go
gentle.
toward that. You want that because it makes things easier for you.
I think that's why I respond to you so well, because you're not gentle with me and you tell me on things. And you make me think.
Well, Lauren also mistakes like screaming and abuse for love. So, not that she is, it's just that if she yells at him, then that must mean that she cares about him and thus loves him. So that's why he loves, and all those calls that Tiffany actually loses her temper, he's just giggling because she's screaming at him. And he's soaking it up.
They're gonna fight hard and love equally hard. So that's all he thinks of.
Yeah.
About things. I've gotten further understanding things more with you than I have with any of the counselors. I think that's what actually made it so that I was able to admit things that I wouldn't admit to before.
Like what? What are some of the things that you've admitted?
Love you. That's one
About
thing.
Kayla, about that I was attracted to underage girl. Was attracted to the thoughts of having sex with an underage girl. Instead, I'm trying to figure out exactly why I let myself do it all the time. When it's a simple answer.
Why I
said it's a simple answer. But the reason I say it's not so simple for me is because I want to understand myself. When I knew not to do it, why or how I could allow myself to do it.
Well, I pointed out why I think that you did.
Selfish.
Right.
And I agree with you.
Okay, so then what is beyond that? What is in addition to that that you feel it tells the complete story?
I guess maybe how I became so selfish. I guess I could keep looking for answers constantly on everything. So
being selfish is just something in your personality.
Yeah, but I never used to be selfish like that.
What
do
he
you know?
mean used to
That's
be?
what makes you selfish.
Is that you?
If you were aware that you were selfish, would you be selfish? No, you would probably be sociopathic. If you're just a selfish person because you're obtuse, you don't think about other people, you're an only child, so maybe you've never had to share, right? If you're aware that you're selfish and you're just selfish, then it's not just selfishness, it's you're just a shitty person.
Right.
Like, that makes no fucking sense.
And growing up, I'd go out and do things for people for nothing. Like during the wintertime, I'd go around and I'd shovel out elderly people's sidewalks or not sidewalks, but their pathways from the door to the garage or to the car, or
right.
And babysitting for a woman for 3 years, or
right.
Their two daughters, and
yeah.
And I stayed friends with them right up till
Alexa, snooze 15 minutes.
The youngest one was 18.
Mm-hmm.
And with mom, she's actually the one that told me she raised me growing.
Alexa, reorder 6 cases of Celsius.
Up, so
mm-hmm.
She wasn't selfish doing things.
Right.
Well, I guess somewhere along the way it became selfish. I'd like to know where it came from. I know it came from Dad. Dad was very selfish.
Well, your dad wasn't really around, and you're thinking of it as a genetic thing, that your dad was selfish because of the things he did, and so that makes it so that you could be selfish too.
That's what I was thinking. That's not the answer.
No.
You don't think that might be part of it though? That maybe part of it was in my blood and that could come out?
No, I don't think selfishness is a genetic trait.
I don't know where it came from then. Maybe it was from being around Tony and Paul and Lori and Ralph.
Well, I hope you know that it's not their fault, and I hope that's not what you're trying to do.
No, I'm not trying to pass the blame. I'm just trying to figure out where I came to think that it was okay to be selfish like that.
Well, selfishness in itself, for the person who's selfish, is going to think that it's okay. So it's not that you woke up one day and said, okay, I'm going to be selfish, and that's okay. Being okay with it is inherent with being selfish. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not okay to be selfish. I don't like being selfish. I don't like myself for being selfish all that time. Fucking people up in the process, including myself.
Well, I think everyone is selfish to a point.
Yeah, but my point went way too far.
Well, the point in it going too far is that it starts to hurt other people.
Yeah, and I've hurt a lot of people.
And that's what a predator does. They look for victims. They look for easy targets. And they don't care what the outcome is for the other person. That's how you're able to justify the things that you've done.
I really got to go back a ways in my life to figure out where I became selfish, because
I really don't think you're going to find that point, honestly. I don't think that that's going to be the answer to what's happening here. I don't think finding that out is going to determine what happens now or how you're going to feel about the things that you've done.
Right, but wouldn't it help me be able to watch for it? Watch out
Well,
for
no.
specific
Oh god.
No, I don't. Well, no, because I think you
Can you just do it for me and I don't have to worry about it?
know what those are. Going back and trying to pinpoint an event in your life where suddenly you became selfish is going to be pointless. And I don't think you're going to remember that.
See, I'm thinking all the way back to when I was in Washington State with Paul and Laura.
With your nieces.
With you, right?
Yep.
That weird secret room you had for them. Remember, Lauren?
Yeah, their own room. Remember how they had their own room and your nephew had to sleep on the fucking the non-hump air mattress in the living room?
With the kids. So I'd work all week and I'd go out and take just about my whole check, spend it on the kids' clothes and shit like that, doing things with the kids. But I know Paul and Laura were selfish. Before
Yeah,
that,
so that's probably how you caught it.
Right, yeah.
You should have got a vaccine for that selfishness.
Yeah, selfish.
Got a vaccine, and it's called love.
Yeah, for selfish, 1998 is when he got it, so he's got to get that vaccine for selfish 98.
I was in the Air Force. I don't really remember being selfish there. And I know you said going back, I'm not really going to find the exact point when I became selfish. Even if I can find the area when I.
What is that going to tell you?
Selfish.
What will that teach you if you do that?
I don't know. It probably won't teach me anything other than to look out for.
What are you going to look out for? Or do you not know what being selfish means and what a selfish act looks like?
Well, yeah. I don't know. I just don't ever want to make the same mistake ever again. I don't want to ever lead me being to where my head is so out of control, like it was, and I want to keep myself in control.
So then be in control. What you're looking for is where someone taught you how to be selfish. That's what you're looking for.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's not
going
to help you.
Oh, he's like, yeah, finally, yes. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to find the fucker who made me selfish. Maybe you can help me figure that out.
Okay, Debbie finally figures it out. What Lauren actually wants.
He's like, gee, stupid. Finally, yes. Help me figure out who this fucker is, because I'm gonna sue him for $80 million.
It's not going to help you, because then what you're going to then do is try to make yourself a victim and say, well, Lori taught me how to be selfish because look at what she did. And that's where it all started. And my life went completely out of control.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
You're trying to blame other people for what's going on in the things that you have done in your life.
Yeah. That's not going to help me. There's no sense in looking back to try to find it. It might bother me, but...
If it isn't Cybersqueak finally showing up.
There he is.
Just 2 hours late, but it's fine.
There's no sense in looking back. It'd probably just irritate me more than anything anyway.
All it's doing is it's dragging out you trying to come up with some kind of an answer.
I think you're right, too. It was about trying to find somewhere to blame it on.
Yeah, you're trying to find someone to blame it on.
Yeah. That makes more sense. Done a lot of finger pointing.
A lot of finger pointing.
See, I'm learning. I'm getting there. It fucking sucks. It takes this much just to learn about myself.
it's a really bad habit to try and constantly look for the external answer. Constantly. And that's how you're justifying the things that you do. Well, no one else does this. Everyone else is selfish too.
And I don't need to worry about everyone else. Just need to worry about me.
Right.
I can't control other people being selfish. I can only control me.
Right. And that's how it's always been.
You know, you've said that to me before.
I know. I've said a lot of stuff.
Never
to you
really sunk in
repeatedly.
until today.
Yeah, fine. Because you're
No.
so fucking special, Debbie.
No, I learned something today, Debbie. It's always like that
After school.
end of the TGIF. Well, I
Yeah.
just think of like the end of every TGIF sitcom where like Danny Tanner would sit down with DJ and they would go over the lesson that DJ learned this week while that soft music played. At the end, he'd be like, "Now, what do you say we go get a frosty milkshake?" And she'd say, "Now, that's the best news I heard all week." Laugh track, credit.
Band plays and everybody claps.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Now, Lauren's life is basically the end of the Incredible Hulk TV series where he's just walking backwards trying to catch a ride as the music plays.
No one. It just says pedo on his side.
You
No
won't
one's
like me
picking up
when
the
I'm
guy.
angry, Mr. McGee. It's just Roy's voiceover yelling that at Lauren.
Yeah, but you're the only one that's ever gotten it to sink in.
Well, hopefully it does.
So that I can actually repeat it myself and understand it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because before it'd be like somebody would say a similar thing to me, but it wouldn't sink in enough for me to say, okay, I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't matter because if they're going to be selfish, then why can't I be selfish? If they're going to be selfish and everybody be all right with it, then why can't I? Well, the problem is I don't like being selfish. And I don't like to be thought of as...
You don't like to be caught being selfish.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine with being selfish. I just don't like being told I am.
being selfish.
Well, I think that's
Yeah,
the
I've heard a
real
lot of
answer is
people
that
suggest
you
that.
don't like being thought of as being selfish.
Yeah, well, and I don't like being selfish either.
But being selfish has served you.
I know, it hasn't served me very well.
Well,
I
it
don't like
has.
screwing people over, and I've screwed people over.
But that's what I'm saying is that it has served you because you were able to screw people over and you got what you wanted.
What I want is to fix things, make things right.
Wanna make
I should be happy with myself.
Great, fix things and make them right. So like you were trying to go backwards and trying to find this big answer of why you were taught to be selfish. Who did that to you? It's much more important for you to be clear and admitting the things that you've done instead of trying to cloud them in a way that makes you to be kind of a victim too.
Yeah, that's true. It's fucked up.
It's incredibly fucked up. It's the worst way to be.
It is fucking terrible.
Think
Fucking
about all the
sucks,
people
too.
that you have fucked over royally.
All from being selfish. That's fucking amazing.
It's funny now he's trying to just blame it all on selfish like it's a being. Like, yeah, it's that fucking selfish's fault.
I never got the selfish. Think of how differently my life would be.
Right. I caught a case of the selfish.
Didn't have the drugs that they have for that today.
I was-
Back then, it was a death sentence.
I was eating at an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I had some shellfish, and I've never been the same.
Oh, look at me.
Sucks to have to think that I've been like that.
So now is it easier for you to see?
It's a lot easier for me to see now. Why I didn't see it before is beyond me.
Because you were trying to make yourself a victim and you were trying to complicate the answer so that you could be one.
That's messed up. The right words coming out of your fucking mouth. That
What?
sinking into me so easy. That is so fucked up.
Now, if I compliment her for telling me why I'm a pedophile, she'll sleep with me.
It's fucked up that it took me so long to fucking to understand this shit.
So then what now?
I can say that I feel better understanding it.
What do you understand?
Understanding why everything that I've done has been so fucked up, and why I've laid the blame on people.
Why has everything you've done been so fucked up?
Because I've been selfish.
So why did you talk to Molly?
Because I was selfish.
And?
I shouldn't know you to make me say this. And because I was attracted to an underage girl.
I want you to know that I'm not making you say anything.
I mean, that's how Lorne sees this, is that Debbie's making him say it.
Yeah, well, he would backtrack on it. Of course, he would backtrack on it and say that, I was just saying what you wanted me to say, or you
had
led me to
fucked up at the
say
time
that.
I believed it.
You saying these answers does not please me. I hope that you know that.
Well, I know it doesn't please you. It doesn't please me to say it.
Okay, but I'm saying...
I know you want me to say it so that I can admit it to myself.
You have to admit it to yourself, as long as it's a true admission. So is it a true admission that you talked to Molly because she was 15 years old and you liked that?
I don't know if I want to admit that right away, because I did like talking to Molly, but I don't know that it was because of her age.
What?
Or because her and I get along.
Well, most people.
As Debbie has said before, what did you have to talk about? Like, what do you mean you got along?
Well, she had stuff. He probably was the person that she was going to talk about family shit that she didn't want to talk to her friends about, or didn't have friends to talk about. So he knew that because she was having issues, that she would have things that he could bring up. And he would be like, so was your dad shitty today? Or did so-and-so bully you today? And he would just bring up all the bad things, remind them of all the ways that he would never treat them like that, sing them some song he said made them think about them. And then, let's have sexy talk now. That's what he would talk with them about. He would find out whatever he could, would get their interest, because Lauren's one of those people that he probably knows a little bit about a lot of things,
right?
That he can have that conversation with anyone, and then he learns enough about you, and he'll pretend it's all about you and ask you questions. Then he'll just talk about how shitty all those people are that you said you had issues with are.
But I care for you, so why don't you show me your boobies?
Yeah.
I would have to say, if Molly approached them and said, I like your singing, they say, okay, thank you so much. Have a good night.
Yeah, I know. I didn't.
Okay.
Upgraded asked me a question.
Yes.
The first TCAP related video I ever uploaded was a Watching Lorne video with Baked Salmon in 2019. And it was like Mystery Science Theater 3000. We were just watching some of his Lorne reality show, the cooking videos, and just making comments over it. And then right after that was Bakeline, where we were going after Hansen and Vince Nicotra. That was the third video.
You know, Wes, it's the 1 year anniversary of Bakeline. Would you like to commemorate it by singing?
Oh, I didn't do my I wasn't smart and did my vocal warm ups.
Well, I certainly was smart and did my vocal warm ups before this.
I was smart. That's how he says it too.
Happy birthday.
I'm still thinking about it because fact that if
it's funny because I streamed that stream the stream with Jiffy a couple of months ago, and like he even, as an Australian, sorry, Jamaican, he even knows that Marilyn Monroe didn't give JFK a lap dance because
the fucking lap
Kennedy's
dance.
like, yeah, I sorry if I would have known you better, I would give you a lap dance.
The
Even
Marilyn
Jiffy's
Monroe
like,
lap dance that she
Jiffy's
did.
like, I know that there wasn't a lap dance. she doesn't
How
know the difference.
how
between
inappropriate? How inappropriate would that have been?
If she was filming if she was there with Jordan and she didn't know him, as long as she was in the room, she would have just given Jordan a lap
She
dance.
just giving him a lap dance.
Molly had been older, I think I would react in the same way.
But she wasn't older. So you didn't have the opportunity to know an older Molly.
That's true.
Okay. So the fact that she was the age that she was and you talked to her at that moment, that's what you need to think about. Because again, most people would have walked away.
I almost think that I didn't walk away because I was so used to being around underage people. Because of all my nephews and nieces.
What does that mean exactly?
No, don't answer that.
I'm used to talking to underage people because all my nephews and nieces were underage at the time.
Yeah, we're overage.
Maybe I didn't give much thought to talking to them.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Well,
like, Lord does that shit all the time. He'll do this thing. Like the best example I have is when he's talking to Casey about his his psych report, the DD-87, when he first misunderstands it and thinks it vindicates him, but then once he figures out that he's just reading his own self-report, he's like, I need to bring it into the polygrapher and have a talk with them, and then he'll give nonsense answers, and then we'll just say, you see why I have to take it into them? No, Lorne, what do you mean? He will always say nonsense and then asks if you agree with him. You see why I got to take it in? You see why I got to think about it?
See why you can never be around my fucking brother? He's drunk. Anytime Roy did something, he would try and use it as a reason why they're never to call him again or talk to him again. Do you see why?
What's so funny is in Lorne and Roy fight, he says, you're never to talk to Winnie and Emma again, and then the next breath says, and you better listen to them. So, like, which is it, Lorne? You just barred him from speaking to them, but then said he has to listen to them. Like,
well, I can turn it around a little bit and say, what do you think about the teachers that have sex with their students?
Yeah, I would
nice.
Be very happy with.
Well, I mean, it's sort of the same of what you're saying. They're used to being around teenagers or whatever age group. So does that make it so that you can see why they would lose their mind and not realize that they were talking to a kid? That doesn't make sense. You knew that you were talking to a kid.
Yeah, and I think back to that be on the computer and some guy started talking to her, and she pointed to me at what he was saying, and I got on there and looked.
This story, he argues with somebody on the internet.
Thought I was fucking pissed.
Right.
And cried because somebody gets pissed about it.
Well, that's a shame.
Yes.
Well, she knew you weren't yelling at her, just like Sadie and Roscoe know you aren't yelling at them. So I'm sure it's fine, Lauren.
Because it wasn't her fault, and she probably felt like it was.
Somebody get pissed, started crying, and asked me to get off the computer. So I just shut the thing off.
Right, but the bottom line is that you
after 25 minutes
talked to Molly.
You didn't shut it off.
And you wanted her to be your girlfriend.
Yeah. So it's point blank, it's because she was underage. I was attracted to an underage girl. But the thing about that, I can't beat around the bush and try to figure anything out.
I wish we would have heard more about that story. Is that the reason why Lauren is cut off from his nieces? Because of whatever happened there? Because how weird that Lauren would react like that to one of the nieces talking to an adult and then try and have sex with a child himself.
Well, it's they're I I don't even want to
Was
say
Lauren
it's that
was
thing like
was
they're his,
was
so
Lauren
he's
was
mad.
Lauren jealous?
Right, exactly.
Not just, they're my family, but these are special little princesses in his eyes.
Right,
Whether he was aware of what he was looking at or what he was thinking when he's buying them short shorts or admitting to himself
right.
is was I have to wonder when Lauren got arrested what their thoughts specifically, because the fact that they had spent the night over there, like how terrifying that had to fucking be.
Right,
That
exactly.
moment
Yeah,
when you hear what Lauren did.
yeah. You basically, I wasn't sure how to say it, but yes, he was totally jealous at that point, and it's fucking weird. But yeah, I just to have those thoughts go through your head, like this man that we spent our formative years with, just got arrested for trying to, I have any.
Yeah.
They're like what the fifth line he says, like I have nieces your age, or I should say,
Not
I
just
had nieces your age.
not just caught, not because you can get caught, and it's a tiny story in the Cornville Gazette, but you got caught on TV, on national TV, on a show that has fucking entered pop culture to the point where how many years later people are still talking about it and watching it, millions of views on YouTube.
Been 15 and a half years since his particular sting,
And there's a community, like that, there's a community listening to his calls right now. So that's it's even bigger, it's even weirder, and you trusted this person to watch your kids because they're family.
Mm-hmm. It's something that you wish that you could hear what they would have to say, but obviously they don't owe anything to us or need to come and say anything to us. And I wouldn't, if somehow somebody said, "Hey, I know their information," I wouldn't contact it. Like that would be for them to come to us, kind of thing. But like I said, though, if they did, I would love to hear it. But but that's all up to his nieces and even his nephew too, or his other family members.
That was the answer.
And that was the answer for all the other girls, too.
Also, I don't know if you know this, Wes, but whether you're an aunt or an uncle all depends on if you have a niece or a nephew. So if you have all nieces, you're an aunt. I don't know if you knew this. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what Evil McNuggets taught me a couple weeks ago. So
yeah, it was.
All right. Is there anything else?
Yeah, it was. You're gonna rush to get off the phone tonight, huh?
I don't want to be on the phone all night.
Oh, I don't either. I'm tired.
Good.
Yeah, Lauren, you didn't want to be on the phone all night. You really buffered out that beginning there, just talking about nothing.
I thought about something today.
Mm-hmm.
What made me think about it was when he was on the computer and it found that somebody, because of what Tony said last night about somebody selling T-shirts with my picture on them. I mentioned it to Winnie today. She was looking on the computer and she found a specific person that was selling stuff with my picture on. And you know that person, Jamie Amy. So Winnie called Jamie, and I was on mute. Jimmy kept denying it. And when he tried to tell her, you can't deny it because there's no way you can deny it because it's also on your YouTube channel that it's you. And she still tried to deny it. She's trying to make money off my name without my permission. That gave me an idea.
What's your idea?
Why not start up a store, sell stuff with my picture on it, and give 100% of the profit to charities? Because Dan, when he also
100% of zero is still zero, Lauren.
Yeah.
called Dan when I was on the phone too.
Just
and
donate money to charity.
Okay.
Like he's always, even with with the Betty stuff, like it's always like, or with Nathaniel or Nathanielette, you stole that $3,000 from Betty, so I'm marking that off of the money I owe her, and now you have to pay her that. Like it's always this external funds that then have to pay for Lord's issues, and not just his own money.
Because it can't come out of that limited pool.
Right.
Otherwise, he would just pay now. It needs to be something that, because when you can just put it off by saying, well, when I start this business or when I win the lottery or when I do this or that, it just becomes a goal that because it's always tomorrow. It'll always happen tomorrow. Tomorrow never gets here.
And so that everybody knows, Before you register with the state or get an FEIN, you go out and you buy 1,000 business cards. Before you do anything, you get your business cards first. Before you know if you can even use the name of that business, before you even know a number you're going to use, just go out, get those business cards.
And then get a Glamour Shots photo package done of you in business and in various business looks.
Yes, very.
Those are going to look
very business.
I don't just give out a business card. I give out a business card and a headshot.
You get a Wes Moast headshot.
I give it a headshot. I want the soft glow. I want the soft glow around me.
Right. Right. Yeah. You go down. You go down to Lowe's. Not Lowe's. Sorry, Sears. You go to the photo department in Sears.
All kinds. There's all kinds.
You got a coupon in the mail.
Of stores on the internet that are selling things with my picture on. Why not set up a store and stuff?
Speaking of which, check out Evil McNuggets on Redbubble. She has some great Lorne stuff there.
Stuff with my picture on because I can't afford to go after everybody. So just set up a store and sell stuff with my picture on them and give 100% of the profit to charities.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I think we have less than 270 days now before Lorne comes and puts us all in jail. So, remember,
I've got a way out. We've got diplomatic immunity.
We have Chris on
diplomatic
your side.
immunity.
You throw Chris out there. Yeah. Lorne, it's like Lorne's kryptonite. Like you just throw, we'll all just go chop off a piece of Chris and wear it around our neck, and then Lorne can't touch us.
A good idea.
Upgrade. Sure. I'm not sure I understand your question. Yeah. What do you mean my connection to Chris Hansen? I produce content. I produce content with him. That's my connection.
Well, upgrade when two people love each other.
I went a little bit further in my thinking, which is that message that I sent you. Just thought of another idea. I said to that today. Why not pick like 5 charities and get 20% to each one?
Oh my God!
One of those charities be Chris Hansen's show, so he can get creditors.
Well, he's not a charity.
What?
He's not a charity, but if we put some money into him being able to do more of these things, help back him up some.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be a good idea?
Lorne wants to sell
if that's what you do.
Bags with his face on it. Pay for more episodes. Pay for Chris to go get more pedophiles.
So he wants to become Chris's business partner. He wants to become Frank Abagnale and then work with the FBI and go out and get other pedophiles.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I'm trying to talk to you about it because I want to know that. What you think?
Yeah, listen, we're still going. Not like you would know. I mean, you're never here, so.
Yeah, go ahead and set it up. I don't see how it would hurt anything.
But in order to do this, I'm going to need help from you and Emma and Winnie.
Well, I don't have time for that. I'm not going to be able to set up a store and organize charities and all that.
He's always trying to get his catfish to do everything for him. Like he's and Walmart employees apparently. Like it's always he has these ideas and he needs all these people to then run it for him. Like be great if you could set all this charity up for me, Debbie. Oh, Jamie, you can run my website for me. Hey, Walmart employee, do you want to make money?
He should have a line. He should be like, "Welcome to the Grop." They're like, "Grop? Sorry, I meant group. The only thing missing is you."
God damn it!
Right?
God damn it, Wes. You're
getting shivers.
No. What I?
No wonder you have the biggest chair at the meeting and the biggest lips. You are just so smart.
Need help from you would be the financial stuff because you're the only one that I would trust for money to be in my name. It would be for you to handle the financials, of where the money's going.
Well, the money wouldn't be in your name anyway.
Right.
Because the store, it would have to be under a company, and then it would be distributed from there.
Okay. So, but somebody would have to write the check.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that.
You wouldn't do that?
No.
But the store would be under my name because it would be my name on it. with my name on it. I want to make sure that I have somebody that I trust 100%.
So I get all the money, but you do all the work, Debbie.
Well, then maybe someone else can do that for you, like Dan.
I don't know Dan like I know you. I don't talk to Dan like I talk to you.
Well, what about Emma then?
I don't even talk to Emma like I do to you.
Okay, but maybe you can.
I don't want to give any information of mine out.
Well,
He's given Dan his social security number. Like, he just in the beginning of a call, he goes, Dan, go get pencils and paper, write this number down, and has just given his social to him.
Well, it's not going to go to your bank account. I can't do that. It has to be totally separate.
Okay, there would have to be a bank account somewhere.
Yeah, there would have to be a bank account somewhere.
Somebody has to be able to sign for that.
Right.
So there has to be a top-notch person.
This is such a
What about that?
pointless conversation.
I know. What are we even talking about? And right,
What do you want a lake house to be?
right, a bungalow. They're usually round, right? Like just nonsense. And
Man's gonna build a roundhouse.
right. Yeah, Jiffy. I don't want to fuck Dan, so why would I have him do my website for me?
Victor.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one.
What's wrong with Victor?
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Victor's a harder worker than you, Lauren.
Yeah.
You're a funny girl.
Ugh.
Well, I think Dan would be a great option. I have a feeling that if you get him on the phone, he'll talk to you for hours about it.
I don't want anybody else but you.
Okay, well, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I really wanted you to be a part of this.
He's like, Debbie, I just sunk an hour into just repeating whatever you wanted me to. You can't now run my business for me.
The least you can do is be a part of my fictional business that's never gonna start.
I sort of was because, I helped you work out the decision to get it going.
Yeah, but I kind of wanted you to be a bigger part of it.
I think the first thing that you can do is set up a checking account at the bank for Lauren Armstrong Charities, LLC.
Charity LLC.
Lord Armstrong Charities LLC.
That's where the check writing thing comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Someone would have to be able to sign the checks.
Lauren _ A20014 Charities LLC Inc.
Yeah, you can give Dan authorization.
Rather be you.
Okay, but I'm not gonna.
I know. I know you're saying you're not going to. Yes,
I mean, I think that if you do that, if you go to the bank, set up the account, get the checks that have the name on it, then you can file the paperwork to set up an LLC. Dan will help you do that too. And then you can actually set it up so that when people go online to order your t-shirts, the money can just be funneled into the different charities as they need to be.
Omega E-Bear, he'd run a middle school, not a high school.
And I'd have to think about the charities too.
Yeah, think about the charities.
One would be missing and exploited children.
Okay.
The other
Oh,
would be
no,
St. Jude's.
no.
Okay.
So Lauren's grand idea is that he's going to run and operate a center for missing and exploited children. Like, is he just...
No, not run and operate. He wants to give money to all these things to help.
Okay.
So he wants 100%. He wants 20% go to 5 places. All the money's going to go to them.
It really sounded like he meant that he was using it to set it up. Like that's
No.
Man,
He just wants to support.
Awful.
Oh my God. No.
Oh no.
But another one being Center of America.
Okay.
Then one to Chris's show.
And St. Jude's.
You still need one more.
St. Jude's.
Okay. Well, you can
Humane
think about
Society.
it.
The ASPCA.
Okay. Great.
Thought about that one earlier today. So that would be the 5th one.
That's good.
Damn, I really wish you'd be part of this.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God, Michael Mendoza. Jesus Christ. Missing and exploited children is his #1 charity because he misses exploiting children. Jesus Christ, Michael Mendoza.
Yeah, I know.
Sucks. You're gonna have your own business to get attended to too, huh?
Yeah, I have a lot of stuff. My own life is very busy. So I don't want to get
Do
right.
we ever find out what Debbie does for a living? Because
She works at Hot Dog on a Stick.
hot dog on a stick.
Oh, I think they met Tiffany in real life. No, I don't know what Debbie
it's
does.
banana on a stick, not hot dog on a stick.
Oh, I know exactly where Tiffany works. It's Hot Dog on a Stick. She's been there for 17 years.
Wrapped up in this kind of stuff. That's why I'm saying Dan can help you. I promise you that you could have him on the phone for hours and hours talking about this.
What do you think about Emma?
I love Emma.
As far as if I let her handle the distribution of the money. Oh wait, you said I could set up in the bank to afford to go to the different charities, right?
I'm sure they would be able to do that. I mean, who knows if Emma even wants to be bothered with it.
No, I know. I have to talk to her first, see if she. I can't do it without you guys, without help.
Why is that,
Well,
Lauren?
what about Tony?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, imagine that one.
Yeah,
$1
imagine
for
that one.
charity, 1 12-pack for me. Another $1 for charity, another 12-pack for me.
Yeah.
Man, Tony just got roasted.
Hey, dude. Tony, that drunk.
Yeah,
Another 12-pack with me.
but he doesn't have tons of intelligence.
No, he definitely doesn't. I probably wouldn't trust a hillbilly cunt-ass bitch like Tony to operate anything.
I wouldn't either. There ain't no way I'd let Tony operate any of that. He wouldn't have a clue to what he's doing.
Yeah.
Neither would you. That's why you're asking people to do it for you.
I mean, he didn't even steer you away from Molly.
No. Yeah, she's not.
In fact, he
No.
joined you. Isn't that
He's not.
something?
She's not worth very much.
Lauren's
worth
just
very
going right
much.
past that. He's trying not
Yeah.
to engage with that point.
Oh, crap.
I wonder if he ever tried to get with Molly behind your back. Did you ever think of that?
Ooh.
No.
Tony? No.
Why?
Molly wouldn't have anything to do with Tony.
Why?
Because Tony's too ugly.
So not because
Wow.
she's a child and he's an adult. It's because Tony's ugly. Like,
He's not good looking like he is.
oh, like, Lauren, how idiotic can you be?
She had his number.
Yeah, she had his number. I don't know why she had his number.
What?
I think I gave it to her because I was going to be, because my cell phone didn't work or something. No, there's some reason I gave her his number. He allowed it. He was all right with it, but
It's interesting.
yeah, I do know Tony, and I don't believe that Tony never tried to do anything with Molly. I know you think I'm just trying to stick up for him.
What? Oh my god.
Not necessarily.
He's
I don't
alone.
think you're just trying to stick up for him. I mean, but the point is that a normal person, just like with you, isn't going to be okay talking to a child.
Thank
And
you, Debbie. Jesus. Like, Lauren talked for a full minute about that and didn't come back to the point that she was a kid.
Yeah.
Because they're not talking about Molly as of that day in 2019. They're talking about back when they knew Molly in, 2005 or whatever.
the friend of that person, if they were going to be normal, would say absolutely no fucking way would he join you to go meet her.
Yeah, I know.
What is he, some kind of a pig?
Yeah, thinking about it now, I know exactly what you're saying. Thinking about it then, I wouldn't have understood it. Wouldn't have mattered. Thinking about it now, it's terrible.
Why is that terrible?
Because Molly's underage. Or was underage.
But when
It took him that long to get there. It really, really took him a while.
it comes to Tony, what do you mean?
No, when it comes to Tony, I mean, it was terrible that he went along with me going there.
So it's really his fault.
That was fucked up.
He must have been interested too. He must have been interested too. Maybe that's why she was bringing a friend.
That I don't believe that, but
Why?
was something I didn't know about. Unless it was something that I didn't know about.
What?
Something. Tell me, how much of an asshole do you really think I am?
Huge.
He's okay. I bet he's gonna giggle after she says huge. He's gonna be really happy she says that.
How much of an asshole do you really think I am?
Huge. I think you're a prick.
So why did you like me?
Oh, wow.
I didn't say that
No
I liked
laugh.
you. I said I wanted to help you.
Like she don't like
Yeah,
me?
I'll be back. I didn't let
No.
Daisy out.
Okay.
You don't.
You know, and I'll just pause it because there's like a minute left, so we can wait for Wes to get back. George Glass, yes, Tiffany is Xavier with the voice changer. Salty Robot, what's up? 80s girl. Mark G, what's up, brother? I'm a Gwen's fat ass chair. Anybody else pop in? I just have been looking at everybody's name for so long. I can't remember if they came in before or after I said hello to everybody. But hope you guys are having a fun night. This call is basically over, so I didn't want to end it without Wes being here. So fucking Daisy. Yeah, well, that's right, Jiffy. I can't. Like, I have to wait for him. It's in our contract. So I guess he had Nugs write up a contract for him, and again, I was busy at work and I didn't read it, so I can't. I just can't go without him. And Rod Scholar. I'm reading your comment saying Rod, and your name is Road Scholar. But Road Scholar, what inspired my Rod voice? I guess just trying to sound really dumb like Cornville Three-Way. That probably is what did it. And then, I just had to talk to Lauren to get mad about it. So, don't you ever fucking yell at Jamie again. Cut that out, play that, and you'll see that it's me, okay? We all know it, that I'm Rod. It wasn't Blue Boy, it wasn't Heelborn, it was me. Kimberly Carson, what's up? He won't come in grass owner. Yeah. Nuggets Canada fan on / Canada. Boom. You got it. Duke /. Oh, hey, Floppy and Funbogan. What's up? You got it, Rod Scholar. Yeah, I'm timed out. Upgrade. I time myself out. Well, how about you ask your wife, Jiffy, who's a virgin and who isn't? Got him. Oh, MC Sleeve is here. Vejas, what's up? Witcher's here. Or at least they were. Honest. Chad. What's up? James Cook. Guru popped in. Wes, you back yet?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Are you waiting?
What?
You waiting?
There's like 50 seconds left in this call. I wasn't just going to play it and end it, so.
I think you've done a lot of shitbag things. I think you've fucked a lot of people over. I think you've done disgusting shit. I mean, I've told all of this to you before.
So all this time you just pretending that you like me, you call me an asshole.
Okay, so here we're going to go again, where you do your song and dance about pretending. I have told you that I want to help you. I have told you I want you to see who you are. I want you to admit it. so that you can stop hurting people around you. That's what I want for you.
Yeah, okay, you've gotten that. But what I'm saying is, from the beginning, you pretended like you liked me when you really didn't. You just wanted me to be able to see what an asshole I was.
Why are we doing this again? I had already explained to you that it was really harmless flirting. Harmless. I've never had somebody jump off the fucking deep end like you. And when I realized that you did, I pulled it way back and I didn't allow it to go any further. And I have been so clear with you. It's unbelievable that we would actually be having this conversation again. I have wanted to help you.
Okay, so he hung up on Debbie right then.
Oh.
Man, that was so good. Just, she again has to plainly lay it out for him, and then finally he just hangs up because he's not going to get any pussy that night because, she's not going to have phone sex with him, so what's the point of lying about him wanting to have sex with a child?
I don't think his goal was phone sex that night. It was he wanted love. He wanted confirmation that everything that he had just laid out on the field, that it was all going to be worth it. Now let's talk about our plan to move forward. He didn't get that, so he was like, "Fuck! I wasted my whole night."
It was just a fucking waste of time. I could have been put my boots on and off for an hour, but instead I
could have been watching Little House on the Prairie, the one with Todd Bridges.
Oh God.
Willis from Different Strokes was on an episode.
He could have had a much better night. He just tuned in.
Much better night with Michael Landon and Melissa Gilbert.
Waited till 5 a.m. when the news started. That's when he starts his day.
That is when it starts his day.
All right, well, that's the end of that call. So again, that is the Lorne Vortex of explaining shit 3,000 times. Or, excuse me, 5,000 times. I laid the call short there. So Wes, you are streaming again tomorrow. Is that right?
No, Thursday with TLI.
Oh, I thought it was what? Okay.
Oh, see, today's Tuesday.
Yes.
And tomorrow is Wednesday, and then the day after that is Thursday.
Well, then you misspoke in your stream yesterday, because at the end of your stream...
Yeah, well, because before I was saying Wednesday, but then me and TLI, we talked, and Thursday's better, so doing Thursday.
All right, so you can just click on Wes's name in the title there, but let me see, what song should we end here with? Okay,
Run for my love.
Run
from my love.
No, we'll end with do 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 do. So that's typically a pretty good end song. So Wes, you have anything else that you would like to say? Are you still here?
Oh,
I didn't hear any.
Because I knew you were going to cut me off.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I want my gun right now, or I'm gonna hold my breath! Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. I hear you, baby.
Get over here, see your Bluetooth.
I want my gun back right now. I want it back right now.
Debbie, what else would Debbie do? Debbie do.
I'm gonna be really angry. Give it to me and I'll stop holding my breath.
Debbie, what else would Debbie do? Debbie do.
Do-do-do-do. Are you still there? Do-do-do-do.
Debbie! Listen to the whistle!
I love you. I love you.
didn't have a laugh.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Winnie and Lord, what a splendid match. He's dumb and she's always high. But every time stupid Lord blinks, she sleeps with another guy. She can't get enough of Dan, and Victor's always there. But even when Winnie poops her bed, it's not enough to kill Lord's love. Do-do-do-do.
Oh, my.
Oh, poor Winnie, what happened to your phone?
I don't know.
Don't be sad, you're gonna find it if you do.